Hello everybody, we're back in the studio today for our second demonstration on mixing color. And for this demonstration we're going to look at using our warm chroma dark and our cool chroma dark and our achromatic black or neutral with a choice of co-primary paints, hues that you have picked from the selection that was offered in part 3, materials and techniques. And from this point, we're going to look at how to mix these colors and then how to mix out some of the variations that you're going to need to complete the beginning color studies in part 4 of our text. These color studies will also be delivered to you as a handout, which you should have at this point. Okay, so let's get started and check that out. Okay, so I'm continuing to mix my colors here, and so far I have a greenish blue that I mixed from my ultramarine and my Indian yellow with more blue in the mixture, so it's sort of a bluish cool bias. This mixture is part of this mix here with more Indian yellow, and that has created a warm green. It almost looks mossy or something you'd see by a bog. And this mixture is very warm, and it is a mixture of my cool yellow, which is my lemon yellow hue, with my naphthol crimson. And you can see sort of the hue changing to more of an orange color, and the bias is definitely warmer. So this is the process. I'm going to continue to mix these out in different variations so I can apply some of these color mixtures to the swatches that I've got ready to go on my newsprint. And so far, these colors all represent basically prismatic mixtures because I have not at this point added white or an achromatic black or either of my warm or cool chroma darks. So part of our studies for part 4 of the text, the studies include making prismatic color studies, muted color studies, chromatic gray color studies, and mixed saturation color studies. And we're going to achieve this by mixing out paints in this manner and then either adding white to some of our mixtures or adding our achromatic black to some of these mixtures to create our chromatic grays or create muted colors to change these pure mixtures, which are our prismatic mixes, into these other color variations. Okay, I've just completed the first 2 swatches. The one on the top here is the mixture of ultramarine blue with the Indian yellow. You can see that the value is dark and the saturation is intense. The one underneath is this hue here with the addition of white. So the white has definitely taken out the intensity and the saturation. It has also transitioned this hue into more of a gray or a muted color. And that is what we're trying to achieve as we mix each of our swatches, or colors for our swatches together, is to get some variation that will fit within the beginning color study guidelines. So to do this, we will need a selection of prismatic colors, which are basically pure hues that are mixed together without the addition of achromatic black, or chroma dark cool, or chroma dark warm, or white, or any complementary color. So I will do that for each of these swatches, and I will try to create a variation of muted colors, chromatic grays, prismatic colors, and of course all the colors should have a mixture of saturation, which will also be useful for our studies. So as I move along here, I'm going to start filling in the rest of these swatches so I can get these done and I can use these for my upcoming color studies. And if you noticed, I've now reached the end of my first set of color swatches, and I am finishing up my last swatch with my remaining Naphthol Crimson, and I've added basically the rest of my titanium white, and now I have a relatively desaturated Naphthol Crimson or red hue. This is basically a muted color. So the grouping here are basically very rich in intensity, so the saturation is quite high. These two are not as saturated as these over here. Both of these colors have an addition of white, so this is one group. You'll need to make many of these groups of swatches with colors that either have more white added to them or have warm or cool chroma darks added to them and higher percentages than just the hue that you're providing to mix into it. And you'll also need to use your achromatic black and mix that into some of your hues while you make these swatches, so that you can have a large variety of different ranges that cover your prismatic colors, your muted colors, and your chromatic grays. And this in turn will provide you with a large sampling that also has a mixture of saturation. So that's the goal basically for this group of projects in our beginning color studies. So I wish you well with that, and I hope that you learned something by following along with this demo, and I look forward to seeing the colors that you make. All right, see you again later.